was a cool night and the moon shines in all its glory in Ofolime kindred, as the inhabitants of the earth enjoys the evidence of its show-off. I waited patiently under a tree for the prince, who happens to be my betrothed, for I have not seen him for a week because he was out visiting his grandma. As I sit waiting for him, trying to understand how the daughter of a widow landed a big fish like the prince. Not like we were poor, but I was not just in the class of people the prince should pick a wife from. Still deep in my thoughts, I felt a light tap on my shoulder and turned to see my prince. I jumped on my feet and gave him a hug. Oh, how I missed him so. But there seemed to be something off about him. What is wrong, my love? I asked in fear. Do you love me? He asked instead. Anaja is never one to answer a question with one of his own. This intensified my fear. More than life itself was my reply. So he went on to tell me how he accidentally desecrated the land, how he would die if he does not make amends, and how I was his only hope. I told him I would do anything. Then he said all I needed to do was to give myself to him. What? Was all I could say. For me, he said like a lost puppy. The prince meant the world to me. What he asked of me is impossible. In Ofolime, women are seen as deities. Their body is a sacred place and their husband the only one who accesses the temple. Any woman who gives herself to a man before marriage is seen as polluted, and every seed that comes out of her after is contaminated. Such woman is made to walk the whole village naked and banished after. That's not possible, I scolded. You're in the best position to understand the implication of what you asked of me. But he told me that his father was the law, and I had nothing to fear. Your father is aware? I asked in shock. Yes, and he would do anything to protect his hair, he responded. That response should have been a red flag, but blinded by love, I allowed him cajole, plead and manipulated me into giving in. In the presence of the king, the chiefs and the priestess of Ofolime, Anaja had his way with me, after which the priestess did some incantation, applied an ointment on me and asked Anaja and I to switch clothes. We all swore an oath of silence, after which all hell broke loose. We heard a wish-wish sound of a whirlwind, and all eyes turned to the sound. I was shaking to my bones, for it was Makeju, a girl who was banished after her husband outed her for being polluted on their marriage consumption ceremony. She claimed her innocence, saying she was raped, but no one listened as she had no proof. Her body was found hanging from a tree in the king's farmland days later. What I didn't understand was why she was present. Why everyone else was not bothered by her presence as if they expected her. And why she stared at me with so much anger and hate. She walked towards me with a wicked, sickening smile on her face. Now I take my pound of flesh, she sneered. I turned in fear and confusion to Anaja and the king for help, but everyone had on their faces a knowing smirk, and then Anaja's words came to me. I desecrated the land. I would die if I don't make amends. In that moment, it dawned on me.